seminar credit, there will be a sheet going out. And please make sure you sign in. So let's welcome our third speaker. And
thanks for having me. The more I think about this, I should have used PowerPoint because Keynote has all this whiz-bang stuff, which means I have to stand right here and click a button, which is really boring for me. So I want to talk about ideas. I touched on it a little bit in the last session if you were here. I'll tell you more about me later. I'm going to do an activity. It's not going to be hard. No? Alright, fine. I'm going to start talking. The three things I'm going to talk about today. See, this is why I should have used PowerPoint. Like, it's one button. It's one button. So I'm going to talk for a second, and then you can tweet at me, and then we're going to do some stuff. I'll put a question mark because everybody's like, what are you talking about doing activities? Alright, the main thing to look at is that ideas come from everywhere. So how many people had an idea when they woke up this morning? I had like 5. I'm still trying to reconcile what I should work on today because there's a lot of work I need to get done. So Alfred Hitchcock said that, and the main way I get ideas is I let life inspire me. So I write like 2 blogs I'm supposed to maintain because it's a personal goal of mine. It's like a challenge for myself. And right now I'm failing because I didn't write for either one last week. But what I started learning was when I was doing that was you have to let life inspire you. So if you never had an idea before, or if you're looking at starting a business, or if you want to do something different, the main thing I do in the business I have, I'll tell you about that later, it's really cool, I promise, is I let everyday things inspire me. So it might be a conversation I have with a client, it might be a conversation I have with somebody I just met, it could be something I observed, like somebody was sitting on a train the other day or something like that, and I was like, that is really cool, I wonder if we could do that. And then somebody was like, that's a really good idea. I was like, I know! But the main thing is to let life inspire you. A lot of times, the main thing that people miss is that they don't take it all in. And you get so focused right here that you can't see anything else. And as an entrepreneur, that's a very bad thing. Very bad thing. So, the main thing about ideas is that they don't matter unless you're going to do something about them. So, Buddha has this quote, and if anybody wants to read it, you can raise your hand and read it. Nobody. An idea that is developed and put into action is more important than an idea that exists only as an idea. So it's okay if you got an idea. My favorite thing is when I talk to people about ideas, because I've been doing entrepreneurship since I got out of college in 2010, is that, are you going to do anything about it? My friend was like, hey, I'm going to quit my job, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, when you do it, call me. So he still hasn't done it. He makes good money, and I told him that he doesn't need to waste on an MBA, but I'm not a proponent, whatever. My mom's been educated for 38 years. I'm just saying education is a good thing, but some things are, anyway. So when you have an idea, the best way to test it is to literally just do it. If you wear a pair of Nikes, if you've ever seen that slogan, just do it. It's a very important phrase. Oh, what's going on? See, this is why I don't like Keynote. Never happens with PowerPoint. Never happens with PowerPoint.
6.
Yeah, I got that in front of the mouse. There we go. There we go. Alright, cool. Alright, so you have to actually do something about it. And the best ideas are common property. So how many people have ever had an idea and were afraid to talk about it? Okay. Why was that? Why do you want to talk about your idea? Yeah, I'm picking on you. You were in my line of sight.
All right. Well, I thought that there were many flaws in it, so it seemed like to really explain it, you have to talk for like 30 minutes, and well, this is why it's going to work this, and you should also consider this, and blah blah blah. So typically, when you just tell someone, you only have first couple 30 seconds to make a good impression, and if you don't kind of sell it on them, then it's kind of uphill battle onwards.
Okay. That's a fair point. That's a fair point. We'll talk about that in a minute. I'm gonna do my little recap. So the main thing is you have to talk to others. And I got these pictures of these 2 girls on cell phones because they talk on cell phones a lot. But you have to talk to other people. So getting to your point about ideas being perfect, there's a principle I left on the other slide on my presentation quick. It's called Wabi Sabi. It's a Japanese principle. It talks about embracing imperfection in everyday things. So it doesn't have to be perfect. I literally have pitched stuff and sold stuff that was vapor. And I'd be like, how do you make that work? Because I'm just having a conversation. So the main thing when you're pitching an idea, if you don't think it's perfect, is to have a conversation about it. Don't go in and try to say, hey, I got this idea and it's awesome. It might not be. Half the stuff I talk about sometimes, I'm just like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm having a conversation about it. So the main thing is to talk to other people. So you can't be afraid to share your idea, because the other reality is there are no new ideas under the sun. Everything that you have thought of has been done before. It may not been done in what you're trying to do it in, but somebody else already did it. It's not new. Unless you got something that, you know, it's like cold fusion, which you shouldn't tell anybody about, especially the government, so they will shut you down. Well, nobody likes free energy. Then there's very few times that you don't share an idea. And that's when we talk about trade secrets and stuff like that. Like now, Coca-Cola can't share their formula because that's how they make money. So yeah, that's a little different. But if you're talking about, hey, I got this idea to become a healthcare company or something like that, you probably want feedback. That's a good thing to have. So we're gonna do a quick recap, then we're gonna do an activity. Y'all gonna be freaked out, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, backwards. All right, so you gotta let life inspire you. Talk to people about your ideas and actually go do it. Those are the 3 points. And I don't need my slides for that. But I do need my slides for activity time. So I need 1 or 2 volunteers. All right, 1, 2. Everybody's a volunteer in a minute. Not right now. I need 2 right here up front. So we're gonna do this activity. It's really quick. I might finish by 4:30. I might pick up the time. Jesus. We're gonna do this activity real quick. And it's a little improv exercise. It's called Yes and Marketing. So if you've never heard of it before, this is how it works. So somebody give me a crazy product. We're gonna make up a crazy product. Nothing.
Invisible t-shirt.
Invisible t-shirt. I'm not calling on you. Alright, so the whole point of this is the only thing you can say to me is when I start something we can say to each other is yes and. So you can only add to it. I'm gonna come up with some crazy stuff, but you can only say yes and. So alright, we're gonna make an invisible t-shirt.
Yes, and?
What is it gonna have?
And it's completely water resistant. So if you're a nudist and you like going outside, but you don't like spilling hot coffee on yourself, put this t-shirt on. Right off the top.
Yes, and it needs to be pink.
So it's invisible. So yes, and it needs to be able to change to other colors too. So you go into like a business environment, it's invisible, they're like, whoa, you're not wearing a shirt. You're like, wait. Yes, I am.
Yes, and it needs to be the size of a bunny rabbit.
Yes, and it needs to fit dogs as well.
Yes, and it needs to have a cat version too. Because everybody don't like cats or dogs.
Yes, and it needs to be hypoallergenic. So
Yes.
Put in all these animals, it can't be like holding on to all that dander.
Yes, and it would be called Invisible Super T-shirt. So that's what you do. I did not practice this with them. I had no idea how this was going to work. In my mind yesterday, I was going through this. I was like, I hope this works. So, all right, I want everybody to stand up really quickly. Everybody. Yeah, everybody. I want you to form a team of 3 people. Y'all can go back to y'all team. I got it. So make 3 people. Everybody get in groups of 3.
Who doesn't have a group?
You want to be bad?
You guys have a group? Alright, so everybody meet each other? Yes? Yes,
Taylor. Okay. No pun intended.
At least 2. Interesting. At least 2. Alright, so what you're going to do right now is going to do the same thing we just did. So you're going to do it in your groups. And I'm going to walk around, and then everybody's going to present their idea. Quickly, I'm going to pick the best one. The best one. The best one. Alright, go.
All right. That sounds like reasonable. Yes.
Alright. So I heard some interesting ones. I had a time machine that was portable, and you go back in time to your awkward points in your life.
Yes.
That's genius. I want that. I want it. They were talking about something interesting over here.
High heels for men.
What? You said high heels for men?
But those shoes are structured for their feet, so maybe, I don't know, costume design.
We're targeting the homosexual
Changing
population.
Or short people.
Alright, who else had a good idea? You don't have to, everybody doesn't have to share.
We had an idea basically to have a special app for people who want to have a one-person startup. And you basically brainstorm, I think it kind of works pretty well, but you have a decision-making or decision support software for, like, say, what you got to do is get ready started. Okay, you have the idea, you brainstorm, you find other people, and you have, use them on LinkedIn and other things automatically. And basically, it throws out ideas and you help come with different ideas and you focus it down to exactly what you're most passionate about and how that jives with the reality and what was really needed outside to a certain market.
Did you make a whole product?
Yeah. You got marketed. Anyway, I had an idea.
Alright, who else? Yes.
We'll talk about it.
So they take you to the moon and we're targeting children, and the core explodes once you exit the atmosphere, well, once you're leaving, so you don't burn up, and it explodes again so you don't burn up on re-entry, and they're fuzzy on the inside, so they're really comfortable. I
And our product
Had
is
a social media enabled magic carpet.
know. That's pretty awesome. Like Aladdin, but like with tweets.
Yeah, so you take selfies like while you're riding.
That's sweet. That's
And
funny.
it goes to the moon.
And we were talking about a glove phone, so that we can just raise our hand and make phone calls and take pictures like this.
It's a backpack that charges while you walk and is a Wi-Fi hotspot and an automatic umbrella.
That's not bad.
That's nice. Alright, so I'm not going to take any more. Because I do have to talk about what I do. So you don't feel like a stranger just came in and made you do an activity. That's weird. I promise I'm not a pedophile. I don't have a so how did that activity make you feel when you talk about other people's ideas? With your ideas with other people? How did that make you feel? Enthusiastic? Silly?
Inspiring.
What?
Inspiring.
Inspiring?
I feel like it's because other people agree with you, because the only word you can say is yes and.
Okay.
So you feel much better with talking.
Okay, that's an important point. So the reason that that's important is because a lot of times as a founder, you do have the quote unquote perspective that you might always be right. I just always assume I'm wrong, or if I know I'm right, I just try to prove myself wrong, and that works too. But you also have to think about it from a different perspective when you have an idea, because if you're so focused on what you think is right, you won't be able to get any good feedback. So I would literally sit there and talk with somebody and be like, they may be wrong, it's two left shoes, but let me figure out what I can get out of this conversation. So it's taking it all in, and that's the mindset you really want to have when you're exploring an idea. It's like, I'm going to take this, yes, and if we add this, or if we do that. So it's important to talk to other people about your ideas, and more importantly, to do it. But once you start doing it, whether that be a startup or a business or whatever it is, you actually need to start getting feedback. And it's very important to get feedback. AT&T is one of my clients, and I still get feedback. I got a pitch. I'm gonna tell you what we do that somebody else gave me yesterday. I haven't been pitching like that in 4 months, but whatever. I'll go with that pitch. So essentially, what we do is we help companies, organizations, and individuals bring their ideas to life and innovate outside of the current environment. That's one part of what we do. And the other part is we help companies and organizations go through the process of change management with both personnel and space. That's what I was told. My version is different, but I'm going to leave you with that version. So I'll be here if you have more questions about what I do. But thanks, because it's Turkey Day, so happy Thanksgiving. So that's all I got. If you have any questions, I don't know. Do I need to fill up the time, or do I need to shut up?
No.
Thank you very much. And on behalf of the EVM, we just want to say thank you so much for your time.
That's awesome.
We also have an entrepreneur Q&A panel happening at 5, where we have several entrepreneurs coming at once to talk about their experiences and answer questions. So make sure you stick around for that as well.
Is it a fight now?